Buying a home is exciting until you start thinking about the down payment. That's when worry can set in. You may be thinking, I'll never save enough. I need a small fortune to get started. I guess I'll just rent forever. Any of that sound familiar? Well, you're not alone, and you're definitely not out of luck. Here's the thing. A lot of what you've heard about down payments just isn't true. And once you know the facts, you might realize you're a lot closer to owning a home than you think. And we're getting after it right now. This is your first time to the channel. You want to keep on top of the real estate market in Richmond, Virginia, in those surrounding counties of Hanover, Henrico, Chesterfield, Goochland, and Powhatan. Then subscribe right there below and tap that notifications bell so you can be the first to know about the current market in Richmond, Virginia. So your likes and subscribes, they help me grow the channel. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate them. So my goal this year is to get the channel to over 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to do that. So thanks in advance for your assistance to reaching that goal. So as always, my name is Scott Durnley. I'm with Joiner Fine Properties. My team and I get calls from folks like you every single day looking for help making the move to the greater Richmond area, or just folks that live here moving within the RPA. And we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, heck, even 9 months, you can give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. All of that info is linked in the description below. We'll help you make a smooth move to Richmond, Virginia. So let's break it all down and bust some of those big down payment myths. So myth number 1 is I need to come up with a big down payment. Now this one stops a lot of people dead in their tracks. So let's take a look at this first graph. A recent poll from Morning Consult and NeighborWorks shows 70% of Americans think they need to put at least 10% down to buy a home. And then there's 11% that aren't sure what's required at all. But here's the truth. According to the National Association of Realtors, the typical down payment for first-time buyers is somewhere between 6 and 9% since 2018. But there's more to the story. If you qualify for an FHA loan, you may only need to put 3.5% down. There's also VA loans for veterans or USDA loans for rural properties that typically don't require any down payment at all. So there are options out there that can really make a difference for some buyers. Myth number 2 is it will take forever to save up for my down payment. Sure, savings can take time, but it might not be as long as you think. In many states, reaching your goal could happen faster than you might expect, especially when you know your budget, you have a clear savings plan. So let's take a look at this second graphic. So according to a new study, the amount of time for your down payment is going to vary a little bit depending on where you live. So this map shows on average how many years it takes to save up for a 10% down payment based on typical home values and income levels in each state. So here in Virginia, we're sitting right at 4 years and 3 months. So scanning that map in its entirety, Virginia seems to be somewhere in the middle. So the worst state happens to be Hawaii, where it will take you almost 29 years to save up your down payment. So you better start early in that state, maybe like while you're still in the crib. But that's just crazy. But now remember this. In most cases, you won't need to put as large as a down payment of 10%, so it could take you much shorter than what this graph shows. Plus, no matter how much money you end up putting down, it won't have to all come out of your pocket, and here's why. So myth number 3 is I'll have to do it all on my own. Now this is one of the biggest myths of all. The reality is there are thousands of down payment assistance programs out there. And the same poll from Morning Consult and NeighborWorks shows 39% of people don't even know about them. That means a lot of potential home buyers could already be closer to homeownership, but they just don't realize it. Now, these assistance programs are designed to help people like you who are ready to own a home, but just need a little support getting started. So with higher interest rates these days and higher home prices, down payment assistance is more essential than ever. So in addition to these state and federal assistance programs, many loans will let you get assistance from a family member. And that typically comes from parents. So the Bank of Mom and Dad is always a good place to go if it's open. So thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like always, I try to cut through the noise in the real estate market and let the viewers know what I think is really going on. So linked in that description right there below, I have 3 absolutely free gifts for you. First, there is a Richmond, Virginia relocation guide. Now, if you're coming from out of state, you must like watching videos about Richmond, Virginia, or you wouldn't be on this channel, and you certainly would have made it this far in this video. But it's also nice to have something you can flip through in your spare time. Click on things and learn more about the RVA. So this is chock full of great information, and it's a must download. So gift number 2 is I have a free buyer's guide. This walks you through the buying process with things like your timeline, setting a budget, how your agent gets paid, creating a wish list, the pre-approval process, all those exciting things that happen between contract and closing, and much more. Again, there is a ton of great information in there for you. So now for number 3, we know when people move, oftentimes they have to sell in their current location. So I have a seller's guide for you. A seller's guide is a handy dandy resource, and it's pretty specific on how I do things when I sell a home for a client, but it covers things like prepping your home for sale, general timelines, what agents should be doing to properly market your home. In this shifting market right now, marketing is essential, so that's very important. What happens from contract to close, and again, much more. But here's the bottom line on today's video. If you've been putting off buying a home because the down payment feels like it's too much to tackle, let's talk. You may not need as much as you think, and there are plenty of resources out there so you don't have to do it alone. You just need an expert to point you in the right direction. So if a down payment wasn't holding you back, would you be ready to start your home search? If so, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. All of that information is linked right there in that description below, and I can help you make a smooth move to Richmond, Virginia. So until next time, I hope to show you around town. Take care, folks.